In this video, I'll be showing you how to estimate in multiplication questions, and we'll start with some mental multiplication of facts that we do know the answer to. 4 times 6, I know from my 4 times table or from my 6 times table that it's 24. Then I'm going to use that multiplication fact to help me answer 40 times 6. I can see that 40 is 10 times bigger than 4, so the answer is going to be 10 times bigger than 24. 10 times 24 is 240. Okay, how can I use this fact or this fact to help me work out 40 times 60? I can see that 40 is 10 times bigger than 4 and 60 is 10 times bigger than 6. That means my answer is going to be 10 times bigger than 24. 2,400. So that was 24 times 10 once times 10 again gives you 2,400. Why did I times it by 10 and then 10 again? Because 40 is 4 times 10, 60 is 6 times 10. So it's like doing this fact but having to times it by 10 twice. Okay. Those facts will be useful in terms of helping us work out the answer to these problems here. We're only going to be estimating. That's good news. We can use some of the facts that we know to help us. 38 times 6. I shall round that to the nearest friendly number. What's the nearest friendly number to 38? Well, I think we should probably move on from using words like friendly numbers. We're growing up to be some pretty advanced mathematicians now. Instead of saying friendly number, what about rounding? Rounding to the nearest. Well, in this case, I think to the nearest 10 would be appropriate. So I'll round 38 to 40. That's the nearest 10. So 38 has been rounded to the nearest 10. Okay, and then we can continue to multiply by 6. What's 40 times 6? Oh, well, I've done that. That's easy. That's simply 240. Great, I use this fact here to help me estimate the answer to this. So a rough answer to 38 times 6 is 240. A rough answer to 38 times 6 is 240. It's not the actual answer, but we weren't asked to find the actual answer. We were just trying to estimate this. What does this funny squiggly symbol here mean? It means approximately equal to. It's not exactly equal to, it's approximately equal to or roughly equal to. Okay? 43.2 times 6. What's a good estimate for that? Again, round the numbers that are not particularly easy to work with in your head to a number that is easy to work with in your head. 43.2, that rounds to 40, and that is a number I can work with in my head. Times by 6. 40 times 6 is 240. So a good estimate for 43.2 times 6 is 240. So here we just had to round one number. We had to round that one, and in this one we just rounded one number. What happens if both of these don't look like numbers you can work with in your head? We'll round them both. 42 would round to 40 to the nearest 10, and I can work with 40 in my head. And 57, that rounds to 60, and again I can use 60 in my head to multiply. 40 times 60, not one I know immediately, but I do know 4 times 6. And then I times it by 10 and times it by 10 again, and get 2,400. Okay, so that was estimating. What about if I made it just a little bit harder before I finish the video? What would you do if it was 4.2 times 157? How would you estimate that? Do you think you know? We'll see if it matches the way I would do it. It may be different to you, but that's okay. 4.2, I'm going to round that to the nearest whole number, which is 4. And 157, I would round to 160. And that's because these are both numbers that I can work with in my head. 4 times 160. Okay, instead of doing 4 times 160 to start with, I will double 160 and then I will double that answer. Double 160 is 320, double 320, 640. Okay, so that was my estimate to 4.2 times 157. It's not the perfect answer, but it is a sensible estimate. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.